This segment of Hak5 is brought to you by JackThreads.
And we're back, and with us in studio at Hak5 today we have Kevin Mitnick, and we are ready for some viewer questions. But are you ready?
I don't know. I'll take it as they come.
Don't worry. They'll be pretty easy. All right, so the first one comes from Philippe, or Philip. He asks, what do you think about the recent hacking activities of groups like Anonymous and the release of classified documents on the web like WikiLeaks? And how would you contrast that to hacking back in the day?
Well, it's certainly a lot different from hacking back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's kind of like when I read about this stuff, I go, wow, you know, these guys have balls. Right?
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, well, first of all, you know, I look at WikiLeaks really wouldn't be WikiLeaks without Bradley Manning. Mm-hmm. So without Bradley Manning handing over all those documents, if he in fact did it,
yeah,
nobody would even know who they are.
Yeah.
Right. So is it really Julian Assange or is it Bradley Manning? You know, so that's a question. But like groups like Anonymous, especially LulzSec, I mean, it's like in your face, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do a DDoS attack against the CIA.
Yeah,
and,
why not?
Are you allowed to use cuss words on this show?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. So, and you know, and today's fuck FBI Friday, you know, and stuff like this. And I'm going,
that's horrible.
And I'm going, I wonder how long it's going to take before these guys are caught. And I'm looking at their Twitter feed, you know, and so you know, other like 300,000 people. Yeah. And I'm looking at the times they tweet, you know, the type of language they're using, and I kind of pinned it like, I think these guys are in the UK.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And eventually there was like 2 guys arrested in the UK that were like leaders of the group. And it didn't surprise me. They're like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, of course.
But the sophistication of their attacks, right? They're using low orbit ion cannon to do denial of service attacks. That's stupid because that's doing a full TCP handshake. Right? So there's no way to spoof your source address.
Right.
Right. So I'm thinking that's kind of stupid. And you know, and then more sophisticated users or members of Anonymous or LulzSec are, you know, really exploiting SQL injection. So again, that goes to the answer. Even with myself, was I really that good, or the security that bad? So I really think it illustrates there's a lot of low-hanging fruit out there.
Right.
You know, tremendous amount. I mean, look at Sony. What would they hack? 22 times?
Oh my God! I mean, don't even know. I stopped counting a long time ago.
I bet their CSO is having a bad day. Of course, there's different. You know, subsidiaries of Sony,
right?
That are getting compromised, but it, you know, it's just like they went wild after Sony, right? And just took them down. I don't know if it had to do with George Hotz and that whole suit against him for cracking the PS3, or if it was just, you know, hey, this is a cool target.
Right. Cool. Well, thank you, Philip, or Philippe, however you say your name. The second question comes from Nate. He says, "Who do you look up to?"
Harry Houdini.
Of course, yeah.
Bruce Lee is one of my idols. I really look up to Steve Wozniak.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean the guy is an amazing guy. He actually did the foreword in my book,
right?
Which was amazing.
That was really good.
I wasn't expecting he would agree to it, but he did. You know, kind of again, you know, I like the spy type of genre type stuff, but really like Harry Houdini because I love magic still today. Bruce Lee because you know he like the ninja, you know,
of course.
Martial arts, and people like Woz who are like engineers and, you know, changed the world. You know, people even like Steve Jobs. I never met the guy, but he's, you know, created, you know, I mean, in my pocket, I have an MP3 player, I have an internet browser, and I have a telephone all in one device. I mean, without him, you know, being the captain of the ship, I might not have that in my pocket.
You might not have this laptop that you're
That's right.
Yeah, same thing. All right, thank you, Nate. The next question is from Andy. He says, what are your views on the U.S. government laws like SOPA that limit our rights as citizens of the internet?
Well, it doesn't surprise me, but it's a law, from my understanding of it, I didn't look at it in depth, that has no due process. So what I understand, if there's you know, an infringement that the executive branch determines, you know, they're the, you know, judge and jury, right, and executioner. You know, if they determine that something is violates copyright, they could sit there and interfere. You know, basically
it's
stop
bad.
DNS resolution. And I think that's terrible. And once, as we learned, as Americans we give up rights like the Patriot Act, they usually stay, and they're forever gone. You never get them back. You know? And what even surprised me, and I tweeted this the other day, is there was a law passed in Illinois, but I think it was recently reversed, where it was actually a felony to record the police. Like if you watch you see the police officers beating a guy, and you're with your iPhone
and you have
recording
your cell phone recording it.
So this guy was facing 75 years in prison. So I tweeted, I go, this is proof that we're actually in a police state.
That's amazing.
Thank God, from what I understand, a judge struck that down as unconstitutional.
Good.
But just in that one state doesn't mean these other states that pass the same law.
Yeah, they
it
might
hasn't
end
been
up
tested
following.
yet. So someone has to get arrested, get a lawyer, and jump through all those hoops.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. All right, the next question is from Jutsi. He says, Kevin, in your book you describe your hacking as an addiction, and it is constantly your downfall and your savior. How would you describe the insatiable itch of hacking?
Well, I'm still a hacker today.
Yeah.
But and to me it was like a complete passion. I don't know if you can call it an addiction or an obsession or just passion. I'm not a psychologist, but I just was compelled to do this because I loved it so much.
Right.
And, and it drove me. And even today, again, I do the same thing, except I do it with authorization and I get paid for it. But it's still, I love hacking. The only, in pen testing, the only thing that is kind of the downside is I have to do a report.
Aww.
So the report is
paperwork,
and that's the deliverable, right? So you're having fun, figuring out all these vulnerabilities.
You still got to work.
Web apps, in people, in physical security.
Yeah.
And then you have to write a very, smart-looking professional report, and that's kind of like the work part. That's like, okay, I got to do the deliverable.
I guess it has to happen now and then. All right, this one is from an anonymous entry. He said, when you were a fugitive, what was the deciding factor for when to leave a place?
When I was a fugitive, if there was any sort of risk. Now, when my first place I went to was Denver, and in the book in Ghosts of the Wires, you'll read that I actually was fired from my job at the law firm because they thought I was consulting on firm time, because I'd always be on lunch on my cell phone.
Yeah.
They didn't realize I was like running from the government,
and at the time,
and I wasn't even paying
so
for my cell phone calls, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I decided, well, it would be too risky to set up a new identity in the same place. So I basically threw a dart. I threw a dart, and then I decided to look at Money Magazine to pick my new place. So I would, anytime I perceived risk, and I would set up these early warning systems, like when I was at the law firm.
Right.
One of my jobs was supporting their telephone system for client matter billing. And so I put in some code into their system that if anyone in the law firm called the FBI in Denver or LA or the U.S. Attorney's Office in Denver and LA, it would send a page to my pager.
Yeah.
So I'd have this early warning system. It was tripped twice. I was like freaking out, but it turned to be a false alarm that they were calling the civil division.
Whew, that's good.
So I always it was like one step forward, two steps back type of thing, or two steps forward, one step back. So I'd constantly be setting up these early warning systems, and if there was any a time where I should have stopped and got out was in Raleigh, where I was eventually arrested.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
But oh well, I guess it
happens.
If it didn't happen, if destiny didn't take me there, I probably would never be on the show.
That's true.
Maybe I'd be still living out there running.
Oh
Who knows?
Man, and then we would have never met.
That's right.
The next question is from Anonymous Coward.
Sounds like a slash dot.
It might be. War games, the net, or hackers?
War games.
Nice. Good choice.
No, or sneakers, I think is a really good one.
Yeah, I never saw sneakers, but I saw the net.
You gotta go rent it.
I'm a fan of
You have to. It's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good. And I want to see The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is coming out. The Swedish film is going to be...
The Swedish version is awesome.
Okay, I haven't seen it. I'll have to go rent it.
See the original, yeah.
Yeah, but the English version is supposed to be out in December. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see that.
That's going to be
So you got
really
this,
good.
hot chick hacker. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, coming up soon, we'll be answering your viewer questions. But first, I have to thank you so much for coming on the show today. Thank you so much.
It's been awesome. Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah, and you're always welcome back. We could go war driving or drink a beer or whatever.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I could borrow your antenna over there, and we could, hook it up.
Our nice little Yagi. See how far you can get.
See how far we
Maybe
can get.
the coffee shop downstairs. Never know.
Yeah, there's a Starbucks close.
Shh, don't say anything. All right, we're gonna take a break, and then we'll check in with Darren for the nibble. If you love alternative apparel brands like Kid Robot, Hurley, and Stussy, but you hate wasting cash, get this. You could score these premium brands at up to 80% off every day at Jack Threads, the invite-only shopping club for guys. They're serving up street, skate, and surfwear brands at brain-melting prices. Best of all, Hak5's hooking you up. That's right, skip the wait list and join free at jackthreads.com/HAK5 to start saving instantly without having to leave the house.
It's time once again for the nibble, and I gotta thank Razor for writing in. He says, I was watching one of the latest episodes and you mentioned how important it was to make sure you use 2 wakkas, or at least that's what I call them, greater than, instead of 1 greater than when appending files from the command line, and I thought you might like to know about this little option for bash. It's set tac-o no clobber. This command makes it so that you have to override the use with the wakka in order to actually replace the file. So you can actually do so by typing wakka bang instead, and if you tried to type like echo blah into a text file, it'll actually give you an error saying that the file can't be replaced, and you just go ahead and put it with a wakka bang and it'll allow you to append. So here, let me give you an example. So if I like echo tac and hello into clobber me, and then cat clobber me, we'll see that it says hello. And as we know, if I echo world into clobber me with 2 wakkas, and then again cat clobber me, I get hello world. That's fantastic. But now, if I set this option, set tac-o no clobber, and then try to, I don't know, echo bunch of gobbledygook into clobber me. There we go. I can't overwrite the file that already exists. Thank you so much. If you guys have 4 bits you want to send by hak5.org/nibble, we'd love to hear from you.
And it's time for my favorite part, the trivia.
Ooh, what do we have this week?
And Technolist photo of the week.
Oh yeah, those are both good.
Yeah, deliciousness. So the Technolist photo is from Steinar. He sends us a photo of someone hacking in a hotel room with their Wi-Fi adapter from the hack shop. What? Hackshop.org.
I'm sure he kept it under 20 dBi.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. You saw all the stuff that was going on his computer. No worries.
Anyway, let's move on to this week's trivia question.
Last week's trivia question was, what were the safe words uttered by Simon to calm the river?
Oh, you know what? I actually forgot. But I do know that I want a Odie bar. Does that count for anything?
No, after the show.
All right.
We've had enough chocolate as it is. Okay, the answer was, I probably am going to pronounce this wrong, Eta Koram Nasmech.
Did we actually get any winners for that?
You know, a few people got it right.
I think there might be some people with coats of brown.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
This week's question is, when calling the LAPD Organized Crime Unit, what password did Kevin Mitnick social engineer out of a lieutenant named Billingsley?
I don't know.
It comes straight out of the book. I'll give you that much of a hint.
Where can they answer?
They can answer over at hak5.org/trivia for a chance to win some awesome swag. Of course.
And if you're not lucky enough to win some swag, you can go and buy some over at the Hack Shop, HAKshop.com. We'd love to. Your business actually totally supports. What's new? The duckies are back.
USB rubber ducky?
Yeah, we got those.
I think.
Don't do that on TV.
Do what? And we also have the new Wi-Fi Pineapple T-shirts.
Oh yeah, those are really freaking awesome.
They're adorable. Yeah, so you should go get one because they're awesome.
Yeah. You wanna.
Oh no.
Thanks, Jason.
He's got the candy.
And
you can also follow us on Twitter, Google+, Facebook. Are you listening?
No.
Gosh. Twitter, Google+, Facebook, all that stuff you can find over at hak5.org/follow. And you can also find all the download links, iTunes and WMVs, whatever, of our show.
WMVs.
We don't have those anymore?
No, 2008 called it once its format back.
My bad.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. I'm Darren Kitchen.
I'm Shannon Morse.
Trust your Technolist.
Bye.
I'll see you on the X-Vid.
Candy?
No. That was the most half-assed throw I've ever seen you do. You're like, boom. Yeah, this is what I have to work with.
Follow the yellow brick road.
If you'd like to take snubs from us, write 548 Market Street. Send postage to I will take snubs off your hand. Please put her in a FedEx box and put some holes in it and.
Follow the yellow brick road.
548 Market Street, North 39371.
Locked.
It's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
It's locked. It's locked.
It's better than bone. It's good. You heard it from the horse's mouth.
You know that shit like I know the bare necessities.
It's the bare necessity. Actually, it's been the Shannon show with more Shannon.
So about those missile codes, by the way, can you really whistle those?
I can.
I have a phone. Do you want to use my phone?
Yes, please.
Okay. How about this one?
Okay, it's modern. It's no dial. We're ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God! That's awesome!
Don't tell anybody.
Okay, I won't.
I don't
don't
know
worry.
if we should put this
It's
on
not
the air.
recording.